It's that time of the week where the hottest Kenyan millennials jazz up your afternoon with their refreshing live talk show. You are now tuned in to the 254 Millennial Talk.
It's not even my birthday.
But he wanted to take the icing off. He wanna cake. Ngoma inakuwa kali. But yeah, it's Bloody Actor, guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of the 254 Millennial Talk. Hopefully, you've had yourself a lovely week. Now, yeah, naishi kwa comments nasema ula. But yeah, man, welcome to another episode, man. Hopefully, everything is fine where you are. At least today's a sunny day. It's not as cold as it has been because it has been kind of effing cold. And yeah, if you enjoy this show and you always love listening to our voices, so or like you just listening to podcasts, you like listening to podcasts in general, just make sure you follow us on the podcast platforms as well. We do convert the show into a podcast. If you set your region to the US on Spotify, you should be able to watch the podcast in video format. And yeah, and you can also follow us on our YouTube, which is the 254 Millennial Talk. You should be able to find us. And yeah, as you can see, I am joined by my usual co-host, Mr. Slapman.
Hola.
Right. So yeah, Web 3.0. So, from the videos I was watching, Web 1.0 was the earlier days of the internet where everything was almost read-only. Like there was practically no interactability on websites. Like generally, there were just pages displaying information. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't click on stuff and stuff, you know. It was just taking you to like just a read-only site. And then Web 2.0 came, and you know, interactivity came. You could upload photos, you could comment, you could reply, you could interact with the content on web pages. And now Web 3.0, this is what we are talking today. This topic was suggested by Kaiser, the bastard on the comment, the first comment there. And yeah, Lance, thanks for coming through as well. I can see you. Long time fan of the show. But yeah, Kaiser is the one who suggested this topic. I don't know if he wanted us to talk about it in regards to gaming, but from the research I was doing, it's a lot of Web 3.0 is supposed to be integrated with crypto. As you know, crypto is decentralized, where you need multiple nodes, aka machines, to verify data, right? Like when you say you own this thing, or when like you're verifying this coin is moving from this person to this person, you need like a couple of nodes in the network for you to verify the transaction. So such stuff. And that's why now you get things like NFTs, non-fungible tokens that are unique to the person who owns the piece of art. So yeah, apparently Web 3.0 is supposed to be based around that. What do you think, Slutty? I think you might know more because you're the dev.
I think number one, a lot of people when they think of the blockchain, wanafikirianga or they think of crypto. Yeah, I think it's the most popular thing about the blockchain. But you are right. In number one, the adoption of Web 3.0 is mainly due to crypto. But crypto is not blockchain. People should know that. Crypto is the price of doing anything on the blockchain. Because the blockchain, number one, like the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine, which is what Ethereum runs on, which is currently the most popular blockchain. There are others. You have your Solanas. You also have your, what do you call them? This other one, the Bitcoin one. The blockchain, that Bitcoin one. And then you have the Binance Smart Network, BSC. There are other iterations, but
BNB.
Binance Smart Chain. Binance Smart
BSC.
Yes.
Yeah,
Then you have others, but they are mainly just networks with iterations of the EVM or Ethereum. You have something like Polygon, Avalanche, and so on and so forth.
Shiba
So
Inu.
Shiba is just a coin, bro. Shiba is not.
It's also based
So the main
on
thing,
the
or
Ethereum network.
the most important thing, yeah,
Eh?
it is like our ECR20 or 21 token on the Ethereum blockchain. The most important thing for number one to understand is to differentiate the two. The cryptocurrency is what you pay for doing anything on the blockchain. A blockchain is just like, as you stated, a set of networked computers. That's the best way to think of it. But in its true nature, it's just like Turing machines. That's like your computer. You can do calculations on it. You can do native applications can be made there. You can do mathematics. You can do like if you are smart about it, you can actually solve complex scientific problems. But the price for you to do anything on the blockchain, that is where crypto comes in, and it comes in with the main aim of preventing people from doing infinite things on the blockchain. For like they don't want a programmer to write something that will run forever on every node on the blockchain. So you have to pay crypto usually, and then that's where the finances come in. It bounces up and down. You end up having your Ethereum, your Dogecoin, your DAI, your whatever you want to call it. It all comes because people have to pay to do anything on the blockchain. So that's number one. I think that's the best way of thinking of it. If you think about it in that way, then the next conversation becomes easier. What is Web 3.0? Because now you understand what the blockchain is, and it's just like an EVM. That's a good example. Many machines coming together. The machines are relatively, anyone can join a blockchain. That's like the beauty, number one, the beauty of it. Anyone can join me, and you can join it. When you join it, we can earn some crypto by mining. So apart from that, when you join the blockchain, a programmer can write a program that can run on my machine, and then they pay me. So number one, the main difference between that and what we currently have with 2.0 is that majority of the servers are centralized. An organization owns them. You have your Amazon Web Services, your Google Cloud Services, and also your Microsoft Azure services. So when it comes to 3.0, Web 3.0, it's just basically every app currently. Like I'll give you a good example, like YouTube's. You have your Discord, whichever app you use on your phone, your banking apps. Now the endpoint becomes the blockchain rather than, of course, interacting with the servers. That's the best way of thinking of it. Take your YouTube, make it on the blockchain. Take your images, instead of storing them in Google Cloud, store them on a blockchain. I think you get the logic. Then that's
It's
where you
like
get Web 3.0.
in terms of like storing data, yeah, it's like torrenting, right? It's like a kind of way.
Yeah,
It's like torrenting where
yeah, yeah.
if you
Actually,
upload the file,
like
it's on multiple machines, so it's kind of hard to take it down.
yeah,
Because for
yeah. I
me,
think Polkadot had like. Oh no, go on. I think that's a bit more complex than it's outside the scope of this conversation. Go on.
yeah, for me, I was interested on the like when I was doing some research on this Web 3.0 thing. I was interested on like and I think earlier, remember on the earlier days, if you've been on the show on the earlier days, we used to stream on this platform also called Theta.tv. I stopped streaming on it because my internet became bad. I can't stream on 3 platforms. But it's also a form of video website for it's like a blockchain where if you can earn like the tokens and stuff. But the interesting bit is that of course such sites allow, or like what you've said, like the decentralization of information, it allows like censorship to be, not even allow censorship, but it just makes censorship of content quite difficult, right? Like everyone can have a voice, because it's in reality, if they really implement the blockchain technology, it's very hard to take down a video. Like someone can upload it and you can take it down because it's on multiple like machines. It's not like on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube's side of things, they can just strike your channel and boom, you're gone. Like that, you see. So for me, when I was researching, I think that was the interesting thing, like it shows that the people are really trying to take like privacy and like seeing what the internet has become and trying to make changes to better enhance the future. Because to be honest, the internet was created with that in mind, to give everyone a voice, to give a lot of people interactivity. And you've seen all these options and all these careers that the internet has opened for a lot of people. So it's sad to see that we're at a point where big corporations are censoring information to a point Like they can even affect things like elections, and like if you speak against something or if you speak for something, you find that maybe if that does not align with the website, you get taken down. So in essence, it's defeating the very first purpose of why the internet was created in the first place, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think, but for me, I'm for free information, regardless of whether people are spewing nonsense. I think
Mm-hmm.
like it's important to create that openness on the internet. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, what do you think about that?
Uh,
About like the
I think
decentralization? Mm-hmm.
the question about openness,
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe like Web 3.0 addresses that. I'll give you a very good example. Currently, there are
Mm-hmm.
coins like
Mm-hmm.
there's a coin called I think it's Unicorn or Uni. It's
Mm-hmm.
owned by Uniswap, and the people who hold it control it a lot, although it is on the blockchain. So really, on the blockchain, you don't have freedom as you think. There are
Mm-hmm.
still players who are able to control everything. Yeah,
The
if a lot of
whales.
people like on your
Is it
the
those people
whales, yeah,
with the whales? The people like okay, a good okay. An example is like Elon Musk. The way Elon Musk like owned such a
yeah,
huge
but
percentage of Dogecoin. So
you can actually it's being investigated for that. Apparently, there was some fraud to it.
okay.
Go figure, billionaire was doing fraud. But anyway, the blockchain is not as free as you think,
Mm-hmm.
but it allows for individuals maybe to have a bit more freedom when it comes to deploying technology to the internet. I think that's more freedom than, of course, centralized servers. That means you can do away with the privacy issues that you have. That means like everyone on the blockchain is in charge of the information. And the best thing about the blockchain, you
Mm-hmm.
cannot read an individual block alone. You have to read them all of them together. So that's one thing. Every blockchain does it in a different way. Others do it in the form of nonces and so on. But that's maybe a bit complex for this. So the point here is that it can allow us to
Mm-hmm.
have a bit more freedom, especially in privacy, the content we share, the freedoms of communications. That means we
Mm-hmm.
can do away with things like content restriction and so on and so forth, because
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily one person will be able, like the president won't be able to say, oh, okay, shut down the Ethereum network. You can do away with that.
All
So
right.
shut down maybe the Web 3.0 app would be difficult as compared to a Web 2.0 app, because it is not as centralized in that manner. There are a lot more players in it, and there's also the advantage of it maybe most likely never going down. I'll give you another example. There's a time when Discord went down because of Amazon Web Services were down. So with the blockchain, chances of that are a bit low, although it can happen. I mean, as we've seen,
Okay.
anything can happen. So that is one advantage. And also, maybe something to think about when the internet was started. It was assumed it would be free, it would link everyone up together, but you saw
Mm-hmm.
other things came up, other things are coming up. There are major privacy concerns. Other things, even more serious matters like the US elections thing was done through the internet, influencing
I mean,
the.
even Kenya was influenced. I saw when I was watching the
Yeah,
documentary of
Cambridge, what was it
Cambridge
called? Cambridge
Analytica.
Analytica.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
we
I was
were part of
watching
it, and
the.
it's yeah, because
In fact, we
yeah, and
were the
also that
test.
doesn't stop.
We were test
Yeah,
subjects. We
we
were
were,
not
we
even
are.
like
Yeah, and it
like
yeah,
you
and
know
it
what
worked.
happened.
It worked very well. It worked.
You know what happened. Apparently, when Cambridge were asked how effective is your platform, they chose
The
they chose
reference.
specific countries to target and see and like prove to like the Donald Trump campaign that their
Hmm.
Cambridge Analytica social engineering tools are as effective as they claim. So yeah. So even our elections, I was just surprised to see Kenya was on the list there, and they even showed like Uhuru and Ruto, and I was like, God damn, these guys are crazy.
Um,
So
I don't think.
mm-hmm.
I don't think. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's anything to do with craziness. It's just the time we are in. Majority of the time, we are looking at a piece of information. Which number one, we
Mm-hmm.
cannot verify the source. We cannot verify. Maybe you don't know if it's targeted to you. Nowadays, ads are disguised as information. You'll get to see like top ten shoes to buy today, but the number one is the guy who paid the ad. You understand what I mean?
Yeah,
Information is so much.
the result is an ad up there. That's annoying, by the way. I
Yeah, and
remember Google
and
were
even
there was a time Google was being coerced. I don't know if it's by the Europe, like the European Union, to like bring back the ad label and make it label it like as a yellow one, because you remember they turned it from yellow to a black one, which makes it quite hard for you to know it's an ad.
Harder to see. Yeah. Very, it's something they engineered in a very good manner to be able to circumvent that issue of people knowing it's an ad. But you understand, like, with each technology, things come up. There are downfalls, there are pitfalls. Especially now, it's so easy to spread misinformation. I think you've seen it.
In
Like
fact, I
maybe
was
your
going
mom
there.
will show you, ona hii niliona inasema ukikunywa maji kitu fulani na happen. You get what I mean?
I was going there.
so-
In fact, I was going there. I was about to give the example of flat earthers, and I'll be like, if you can't take their videos down, they might mislead a lot of people. So,
Yeah.
like you've just said, everything is a double-edged sword. Where there's a greater good hapa, where the information is not being censored, where the press becomes like, yani tu information is unbiased, right? And also now the problem is that people are weirdos, especially people on the internet. So you can even find videos of pedophilia and just cringy, weird stuff like that on the internet. And you can't take them down all because this maybe video platform has been based on a I don't know, on a like decentralized system where it's very hard to keep track. A good example of that is like the way Discord claims they are so private, where like these white supremacists organized a protest in a Discord server, and because even though maybe they might be selling information, I think so far, I think Discord is quite is quite like private. It's still a niche, right? It's still like a niche where you can find weirdos like you, and you people can organize all kinds of chaos without anyone detecting you organizing those things. So
okay. How do you know that Discord?
I don't know.
Niche?
I mean, if the white supremacist thing came up, and apparently it was being planned on Discord, and Discord never did anything.
Does that make it a niche?
It's like
if
a
anything,
niche.
it makes it extremely popular. No, by a niche you mean it's used by maybe a minority of people maybe use the internet. It doesn't make it niche by any means. The thing is extremely popular. I think Discord has of how many users? 300 million.
I think so.
It has a very. Those are active, bro. Like active people on this thing, and it doesn't charge you a cent. You want to tell me there's privacy here? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. There's actually a video someone made that Discord is actually in the business of evil.
Oh, the moon guy.
What the goal?
I keep posting his videos on this server on the clickbait section.
The goal
is to make it so big and then they sell it, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's like that right there covers the 3-step: start up, grow up, and then start up, sell out, then grow down. I mean, cover this.
So they were even approached by Microsoft and they refused. They were like, "Oh no."
Yeah, they know the value
is more.
Yeah, it is. It actually is. The question is the person who buys it. What do they do with it? What if maybe
Tencent
China gets a hand of it?
Tencent.
Yeah, even the US government has interests. At this point.
Doesn't Tencent have shares in it?
They do. That's what I'm saying.
Tencent has. What Discord does at the moment, they take what do you call it? They take money from. Yeah, they take funding. So I think if you fund them, you stand a chance of actually getting into the party when the buyout happens. So who knows? But yeah, the people who made this will actually be filthy rich at the end. I don't think there's any privacy here. I don't think there's any secrecy. I don't think this is a niche thing. I think it's very, very popular. And the fact it's so, Discord has treated that fine line between making the thing look kind of fun and at the same time it can look professional. Like you can do a classroom here. Depending on how you set up your Discord server, it can be as serious as a gaming server. So it maybe serves those two things. You can see it as a serious thing and as a fun thing. I think how we see it is as both, because majority of us have done work here and we also play video games here. I can't think of joining a Zoom call for us to play a video game. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's you got chill kimpango. That's what I'm saying.
Cooked Grenade is saying, what does this mean for online privacy? I foresee a situation where being able to hide user data non-existent or even illegal to some extent. Also, Lance is saying just look into Discord's very shady owner. All right, I think cooked. We said like because the okay, an interesting point. Okay, let me maybe this will tie into what you're saying. An interesting point. When I was watching this video by Impact Theory, they were saying an interesting way like the technology behind NFTs can be used is maybe an artist wants to sell exclusive tickets, right? And for you to sell exclusive tickets, maybe the artist sold you a card online, right? So yeah, you can right click and save it, but of course these images have that metadata where it shows who is the original owner. So once you go to the concert and try to give out the fake image where the one you right clicked, it's scanned and then it refuse, right? It's going to refuse. So think of it like that. Like maybe if a website needs to access your data, it need like you yourself need to validate. Like it can just like it cannot just be sold, right? So
That's a good idea.
yeah, maybe that's
That's actually a good idea. But I've noticed there is people. I think we live in a society whereby it is so difficult for such projects to come up because number one, the project you propose would take time, would take planning. You'd have to test it out. It would take time. That's what I'm saying. It takes time, or people are less likely to do projects which take time rather than do projects which the payout is fast. Like NFTs. I saw someone took a photo of their sitting room and priced that as an NFT for 20,000 USD. Can you imagine?
But that's absurd, though.
Yeah, of course, it's absurd. People want to take technology which turns a quick profit. Or
of course, everyone is out here to make everyone is out here to make a quick buck. Okay, NFTs.
Yeah, exactly.
Currently, as they are, I think it's just pure nonsense. But the technology does have a future because I feel like things like title deeds, things like are confidential, like a birth certificate, an ID. You can't like fake it. You have a passport. Okay, so if the passport is tied to an NFT, like an unfungible token, it's going to be hard to fake it because it's just going to be scanned and it will appear it's not yours, right? So I feel like that is where maybe the technology can be useful, because especially in our country, if the technology was implemented, it can really really slow down things like corruption, where if everything was mostly digitized, right? Maybe a title deed, a car, right? So if you go hit someone and run away, if your number plate was tagged or if your car was tagged, so long as like there's nothing you can do to change the fact that the car is belonged to you, right? So that's why I feel like NFTs like can be very useful. But at the moment, like the way we are seeing them being used, I don't know, people are selling stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Right now, it's just outrageous. It's just fucking outrageous, like the way it's being used. So I feel like for NFTs to take off, they really have to have a real world value. Because if it's stuck on the virtual world, it's not going to pick up. What do you think about NFTs, Slat?
What NFTs?
Maybe Heshi can give
maybe
us
Heshi can tell us
his opinion.
Okay, I'm not well versed in this whole NFT thing. I just saw it, thought it was bullshit, so I never really paid too much attention to it. I didn't commit too much, as in brain power, to try and understand what this is. Even watch videos, I've just never had any interest. So I don't think I'm the right person to ask.
I feel like I feel like they really need like that real world value. Like, okay, you own the image, then what? How does this help you as a person? Is this an asset you hold on to? Like, can this asset be used in another way other than being showcased?
But
right?
Isn't it similar to art? How someone can go put paint in his mouth, spit on a canvas, then they decide that's art. It'll be and it can be sold for thousands of dollars.
I mean, that's fair point. That's a fair point, though.
That can happen. You're actually right.
But the different thing with art, though, is if you have the original copy, it's kind of hard to, unless you're there physically with the painting, it's very hard for you to replicate it, right? Like, if you have the Mona Lisa painting, you have the actual Mona Lisa painting, But But now you see the problem with digital is the fucking image. Like if I make an image and upload it, man, the way it's going to spread on the internet is so quickly. Like even tracing the original owner is going to be problematic.
Yeah, but is it now that's the point of NFTs? Now you're going to have the original. People can right click and save image as, but that's not the original. Same with the art and the Mona Lisa. Someone can do a 1-to-1, like as in copy, perfectly, like as in like to even like a trained person, like as in an art collector, you can't be able to tell the difference. But obviously the older one is the original one.
Wait, I saw Twitter is trying to implement something like that, where if you upload a profile picture of an image someone owns, they can just come and claim, well, this guy is using my photo, right? Or I don't know exactly how they explained it, but the way I remember is I remember them saying that like if you upload an image, like the Twitter system can detect if you own this image or not. So if it's an image that has an NFT, it's going to refuse to appear on your profile picture. Like the platform will be like, no, you're using someone's image. Do you have the permissions? But now they will implement the. See now that's where the NFT like part gets in, Sasa. If the image is they're like apparently they're trying to implement an NFT system on Twitter.
How many people are using other people's like? Oh, okay, I don't know.
I don't know. See, maybe
are people using other people's art and they're therefore devaluing it by using it as a profile photo?
So maybe now
if I take the Mona Lisa and use it as a profile photo, they'll flag me and be like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe the Twitter system will flag you and be like, hey, you're using the Mona Lisa, pay the artist some credit. Maybe you have to pay for you to use the image.
But there's also the argument you're promoting the artist by having that image as your profile photo. People who would have never seen it will now see it, especially if you have, let's say, a reach, like a large Twitter following or something.
Let's see it. I don't know, but no, you see, that depends. I would say that will depend with the artist, because maybe some people are not good with, like some people are not into, hey, you're using my photo without my consent.
Okay, and not to derail from this whole topic, but didn't some video game developers have an issue with people posting, playthroughs of their game, like their brand new game?
These Japanese developers. Wait, isn't
this game? Isn't it similar? They're like, you're preventing people from playing the game. Like people who would have bought the game will now just watch the playthrough and not buy the game. Was their argument?
It's Persona 5, right? Sindo, you're talking about Persona 5.
I'm not even sure.
I think it was Persona 5.
I'm not sure.
I remember Persona 5 when it came out, people were being copyright claimed like nobody's business. But continue.
But at the same time, isn't it promoting the game? If I go watch some gameplay of a game and like it, like I'm more likely to consider now purchasing it if it looks fun.
And that's why, like,
I just watching the trailer and trusting that the game is fun.
That's what I was telling you. Like, I think this will depend with the individual, because maybe the dev of that particular game was like, no, these YouTubers are making so much money. No. Wacha kwanza we make the money and then we give them. Or maybe they did not want people to post spoilers or something like that. So
you have to click. You have to actively seek out the video to get those spoilers. It's not like as in it's being forced on you. Yeah, so I don't know.
I think this is one of those things where, like, it sincerely just depends with the person. Like, I'm not sure. It's slightly as disconnected. It's weird.
Okay.
I don't know. Crypto. I think crypto still has a future. Like, the technology is going to be useful in future.
Yeah, crypto, I think it's still in its infancy, to be honest. It's been around for, yes, I'm pretty sure a decade plus, yes. But we still haven't figured out what to do with it. Like, as in its full potential.
I think, first of all, if they solve the problem of, like, the power consumption, I don't know, those validations. Like, if they can solve the problem. Yeah. And also utility peer. That's also another thing. So I don't know, man. Like, I feel if they can solve your utility, because NFTs, I would say it's like a fad because of the utility. Like, sasa, Like the image, I'm buying this image. I feel like if I'm buying this thing, I need to really have a function as to why I'm buying it, right? That's why, like earlier, I said an example was like maybe an artist sold you a card, a ticket card, right? And then for you to like get exclusive something, to the artist or maybe music, the artist will be like, hey, scan your images or upload the ticket. And then if you have the valid ticket, right? If you have the valid ticket, you'll get access, right? So I feel like I felt like that was a very good example of how an NFT can be used. And he also pointed out those things like birth certificates, passports, IDs. So, but I do agree it's in its infancy. So, I don't know how soon Web3 is being implemented. Maybe Slati can tell us. Slati.
You don't know how Web3?
How soon Web3 is planning to be integrated?
Oh, okay, that's a good question.
Is it like already something that is happening? Or
Okay,
Is
they
it
arrived late. What's the big deal about Web3?
It is decentralized internet. That's the best way to think about it. Think of internet where you don't, if you're connecting to Pornhub, you don't have to connect the server. You connect to a blockchain of Pornhub.
you just have to
that's
use
like
Pornhub as an example.
Also, I'll never need a VPN.
Yeah.
Yani
Yeah, you will never need
theoretically the content cannot be locked because it's on a blockchain. So unless all the nodes on the blockchain be like, hey, this guy should not watch this video.
Blockchain.
And I mean, does on the blockchain, is it anonymous? Like, does it always do a random node selection, or does it have a preset node that it has to go to?
Okay. That's a good question, and I believe
Right.
maybe this whole thing needs to be demystified.
Uh-huh.
Number one, you will always need an internet connection
Okay.
because there has to be a connection between you and the blockchain or the node.
Okay.
There are actually apps which you just simply download and you can connect to, of course. That it's like a program on your PC, and then you're able to connect to it directly. You don't have to use a web browser. If you use a web browser, most likely you're connecting to a domain. So the domain is centralized. And then that centralized thing connects to the decentralized thing. That's not like the full Web 3.2 experience, but it is part of it. Now, number one, your ISP can always know where you're connecting to. They can always see the information you're sending. They can also always see the information you are receiving. So that has still not yet been solved because you always need an internet connection. ISPs tend to take your information. I think we all know this. So
And the internet
That's not
connection, by internet connection, you mean like the infrastructure to connect to someone at the coast? Because obviously you don't own a satellite. So, okay.
So that infrastructure is needed. You might end up needing a VPN. But in the ideal situation, you still can't do away with the VPN part of it. But I think your other question, you can't do away with the internet part of it. The other question was, why are we not seeing Web 3.0 apps? I think the main reason is there's currently no need. If you were to ask me, I don't see most applications we use on the daily. They do not function better on Web 3.0. And they can function in a similar manner, but you understand, if Web 3.0 does the same thing Web 2.0 does to your application, it doesn't make it faster, it doesn't make it safer. And why on earth do you need to make it safer anyway? It doesn't make it faster. There's literally no incentive for you to switch. If you are a developer, if you are a company, if you are whoever you are and have an application on the internet. Currently, I don't see the incentive for most people to switch because the advantages are not there. But they are there for specific apps, like you guys mentioned, the NFT application you had in mind. So you need a community that is why there are some communities mainly spearheading such applications. I think Penina can tell you of one. This one you are part of called Freeton. Now it's called Everscale. And there's also, you have your Solanas, you have your Ethereums and so on. So those are communities trying to make the thing, pick up traction.
What about Web.3 or like games? Is this like the metaverse thing, Ama?
No. Hardly. I don't think
it's not like the metaverse thing, like where you play the game and then you earn. Because I even saw an advertisement after I was researching.
No. Number one, by the way, maybe something you should be aware of. you can duplicate a blockchain outside a blockchain. It can make it look like it's a blockchain, but it's just a server. So
so
that
some
is
of these
something you need
things
to
are
be.
scams. These advertisements
Yeah,
I'm
and
seeing on
also
YouTube.
maybe a good way to always tell is that the blockchain is always slow, always slower. There are some fast blockchains, but the blockchain is always slow. That's why maybe if you sold some what do you call them, some Bitcoin, it took like 2 hours for the transaction to complete. If you sold some Ethereum, it took fast, but it still takes like a few minutes for the transaction to be confirmed or to be mined, if you like. So that's like a good way of telling it. But the technology is there for the developers. It's mainly JavaScript, so most devs are aware of that.
Okay.
But the reason we are not switching is because there's no fucking reason to switch. I mean, why switch? All of a sudden, now you start dealing with, if your app, number one, if your app is on the blockchain, you have to pay for it. How will you pay for it? You pay for it using crypto. I mean, why should I be charged $1 today and tomorrow be charged something extra? It's something blockchains are still struggling with, and
Running
sometimes they
costs.
just try, yeah, they try to finance you, but it is not sustainable unless your app is crazy popular. Maybe people are able to pay for it. Of course, you understand the beauty. You understand the beauty if it's something which comes to fruition and is taken up by the majority. But currently, we are not there. I don't see it going there because the big companies which control the majority of technology we use are certainly not going to switch to an environment in which users are in control of the information. Number one, that is not going to happen. The most powerful thing for anyone who has any form of internet presence or something that is so big like YouTube, Facebook, the most powerful thing they have is your information. They are not willing to give it up. And I
What
think
if
that
it
is
happens?
why,
What if it
what
happens?
if it happens? Maybe everyone on Facebook dies and we have to make a new Facebook. Google collapses, we
Well,
have to make a new Google.
no.
That is the only way that happens, by the way.
What if the blockchain improves? They manage running costs, and then they come up with websites
Am
that
I-
are so good, and of course they
Oh
value
yeah,
your
yeah.
privacy, and then they pick up.
While you are at that, why don't we have world peace and world hunger? People are greedy, bro. Yeah, people are greedy.
Suppose there is a motherfucker.
Like I stated earlier,
Eh,
even Web 3.0 is not cheap. Even crypto is controlled by a few people here and there. In some situations, it can happen. So this
so
is not an ideal world. So ideal results, we will not get them.
let me read what Kaiser said. Kaiser on submission said, Web3 gaming. Is it going to revolutionize the gaming industry? Imagine being an early adopter. Ready Player
Oh,
One
okay,
type of gaming, I think.
okay. I don't think. Okay, maybe I can tell you maybe something a bit extra you need to know about the blockchain. And especially, for example, if I wrote some code to do 1+1 on the blockchain, maybe let's say, for example, I'm charged 0.1 Ethereum because 1+1 is something simple. You understand? In the blockchain, you are charged according to how much you do. 1+1 is simple. Now imagine writing a program which allows the rendering of a multiverse or a virtual verse. You have any idea how much that would cost?
Mark
Think about
Zuckerberg
it
is
in that
trying
way.
it.
Yeah, it would be like one ether for logging in for 1 minute. It would be
Because there's
crazy,
already like
crazy.
people selling like plots, virtual plot. A good example is like this crypto. I have a couple of them. This one called decentralized Mana. So they have like virtual plots. There's a couple owned by
even even
Oracle.
even mana, the actual mana, a few days back was being arbitraged to hell and back. It's just a scam, bro. That is not real. It is not real. It is not real.
Damn. So you feel like this crypto thing, but see the NFTs can be. Anyway, I don't know.
No, crypto is quite genuine. It is quite real. It is very, very real. Because as I stated, the only reason crypto exists is to be charged for using someone's computer on the blockchain. The miner wants to be paid. Why using my electricity? Why using my graphics card? Why using my computation power to do something and you're not giving me something? That is a legitimate reason to have currency because you are being compensated in that manner. But the other things around it, of course, are more social and political than anything else. I don't think where we are, these are things you are able to solve. But of course, we can speculate on the beauty of it. We can talk about how perfect the world would be if Web 3.0 was adopted. But it's certainly not going to happen. I think the direction in which technology is moving, even as you've seen, companies are just making something big, then selling out. Look at your Activisions, Look at your EAs trying to get bought out, your Ubisofts. Look at your Bethesdas. Every big company, that is the goal. Look at Discord. They just want to be sold out. And the person who's going to buy it is not necessarily going to change the technology and give control of the information over to the people. I mean, they are not Bane, so that's not going to happen. But maybe you and I can make a cool app that work on Web 3.0 and you can see how that goes. The best thing, of course, is doing it and trying it for yourself. But yeah, an application like maybe I was debunking the virtual reality one. It would be crazy expensive as things are. And actually to get a blockchain which is effective enough to handle that kind of load. Even Facebook failed with their ICO. They had a cryptocurrency which flopped. So getting in the crypto biz is tricky. It's tricky. That's why people are being taken advantage of. By the way, people think it's what do you call it? Utafikiri tu upeane 10 bob boy 1000. It's not going to happen. People are going to take advantage of you. They're going to lie to you. But the reality is crypto is real, and people around it might lie about it. And there are some applications which actually do benefit from Web 3.0. Most of them currently we can use them without Web 3.0 being a thing. Maybe that's the takeaway. Yeah.
Pitches, what's your take on this Web3 madness? That you've not been on the show for almost a whole year. His Pitches here? Oh,
Yes,
she's
yes. I think it has its advantages and disadvantages, just like anything else. So it's like when you choose Latiana, it's really up to us if you adopt it to check, because hata sahi the centralized internet that we're using also has its advantages and disadvantages, and we still use it, we still like it, but ukiangalia kama venye wanasema 3.0, there's that aspect of maybe privacy and freedom, but at what cost? Again, it's not completely private, it's not completely free.
Well, let me ask,
So-
this issue of privacy, can't this like be solved if maybe people are forced to like pay to use services like, I don't know. I feel like that would be the solution. Because that YouTube has been heading there with like join memberships, YouTube Premium, the one that doesn't have ads. And I'm assuming if you have YouTube Premium, they don't collect info. I'll assume that, or maybe that's the plan. Because I feel like most social media sites have realized that people are really against like tracking of data, and like of course no one is up for it. So I feel like maybe social media should restructure and find ways to make like running the business more lucrative without like having to sell data, because I feel it will get to a time where people will be like, fuck this app, it's collecting too much information. A good example is like Facebook. A lot of people left Facebook a long time ago because the site became boring and added with all its issues of I don't know, data collection and shady practices. So I feel like that should be the direction, right? Like other than maybe Web 3.0 being like, this is the end all be all solution of the internet as it is. I also feel like in the current web as it is, I feel like we can implement systems where we don't have to be selling our data to use the site. We can find better ways to keep these sites running. I don't know, but that's just a suggestion.
The
Maybe
problem with that is that you trust people with your information, because it's centralized. They put it in databases and servers. So you trust them with that information and they tell you that hatutatumia, but you don't know the hapo nyuma wanafanya nini nyuma ya tent. Maybe they are collecting everything and using it against you. For example, Google really learns you as a person. They know your behaviors online. That's why they present to you with ads that you're likely to click. Ukiangalia, you will not be served ads with anyone else. Haziko the same. And there's a reason for that, because when they monitor behavior yako, they know, say,
Japata.
ukimpatia they're very likely to click it. They're very likely to drive sales to this website.
Unapata ile ad ya boss tuchapia riba ni ya Betika ama ni ya nani? But you guys have ad blockers. I think most people have watched that one. I feel
Plus,
like
most
Kenya.
people don't know
I think
about
most people don't.
there's certain Google settings that just come on by default if you create a Google account. Like
Uh-huh.
one that's called web and app activity. That setting is pretty creepy. Like, as I remember, there was a time there was a Gizmodo article or something, and I went to, they had links to how to disable that now. I remember they had my location data, even though I didn't like consent to it. Like it was showing my route to work and back home, nikipitia supermarket. Like it had it for months.
Can you
Like as in
know
months worth of data.
You've been buying.
So it's
lot of
on by
stuff.
default for most people. So yeah, like as Peaches is saying, yeah, Google, like they know you. They know like, okay, this guy goes to work and straight home, so like as in afanyangi vitu zingine, like we can just promote certain things. If he's a stay-at-home person, we can promote stuff that he enjoys. And obviously they have more data from like what you Google, what you eventually buy on Amazon. You know, all these companies, I'm sure they're swapping data around, like helping each other out.
I know, but I also feel like the web as it is can also be integrated with this crypto stuff. Okay, let's say this, right? Maybe it's centralized. But like the way mega.nz does. When you upload a zip file or when you upload data on your cloud file on mega.nz, it's encrypted. I remember the founder, Ken.Kim, was... Wait, but is that his name? There's someone on Discord called that. I'm not even kidding. This guy called Ken.Kim. I don't know if it's... There's the guy, the owner who made Mega Drive. I don't know. Let me see. Ken.Kim.
Mega upload.
Yeah. Because I remember he was in huge...
Kim.com, bro.
Kim.com, sorry. I think it's because I know. Oh, yes, Kim.com. I remember there was a time he was even arrested because apparently people were using his site to traffic shared information because Mega is encrypted. Like it's hard for you to decrypt someone's drive. So I feel like maybe crypto can be implemented. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking way ahead, or maybe I'm just thinking of impossible things. But I feel like the internet can be integrated even maybe. I'm not sure, but I think if we keep wanting things for free, I feel like the cost is our privacy and stuff. So the question is, how do we... But I also feel like it's also the responsibility of these sites to make better ways. Like do you really have to track user information? Why not force the uploaders of the videos to specify what their videos will, like what kinds of ads should be placed on their video, like what's relevant for their viewers, right? I feel like there should be a system to critique the types of ads the viewers are getting, and also for the channel the ads are appearing on, they can also like set and be like, hey, I don't want these kinds of ads for my viewers and stuff. Because I feel in that case maybe it won't like it may be complicated though, but it may be also be abused. But I also feel like that is a way that it, like, you don't need to harvest user info. Because if you're talking about babies and how to take care of a baby, I mean, isn't the algorithm smart enough to detect the title of the video so that it can serve like the people who are watching the video about babies, an ad about babies, an ad about like Pampers or childcare or something like that, without having to track like the person? What do you guys think about that? Or maybe am I speculating things that can never happen?
Oh, I think you covered it well when you said if we keep wanting free things, the price is our privacy. I think the backstops
Yeah.
of that. So anything
I mean,
apart from that is...
if what is free, you are the product. I don't know.
Not buying the product, you're the product.
Yes.
Something along those lines.
You're basically giving up something. I don't know, but I've seen a lot of people in the US like say they use YouTube Premium to avoid the ads. And I mean, a good example is like us. We pay for Spotify Premium to avoid those god awful ads. So I don't know. I just think it'll get to a point where ads can be so annoying, and the people who have the ability to pay, or maybe the people who are paying can opt out of being tracked. Like, we are paying to use the bloody site. So
Teacher,
what?
I have a question.
What?
I heard
Uh,
in HBO Max,
uh,
you still get ads even if you pay. I heard that. Is that true?
even on Hulu, there's
Oh yeah, it's Hulu.
an ad
I heard
supported.
that.
See, even Netflix said they are planning to bring that because they are losing money. I don't know, man. I don't
Why
know.
would I pay and still see ads? That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Welcome to cable TV.
We ride the high seas, boys.
But I think Netflix. Anyway, but that's a topic for another day. I think we should talk about Netflix, you know, like the problems Netflix has been having. What can be causing Netflix to death? Or maybe what you think the site can be. I think that can be a topic.
But then, do you know, the most interesting thing about Netflix, going down now as it is, I think when my subscription expired, actually for the first time, I think it's early this year, because my card expired, I did not feel like I wanted to renew it. I was just like, oh what?
There's no
I was
enough
at a
shows
place
to
whereby,
pull you in. See, that's the problem.
I guess they are there because they are there if you look for them, but I was just bored with it. Like,
I think that should be a topic for next Sunday. I don't know what you guys on
Yeah.
the comment section think, but I think we should talk about Netflix. It's let me even add it on my sticky notes. Netflix and subscription services. But yeah, we've come to the end of the show. Hopefully, Kaiser, you're satisfied because you're the one who suggested this topic. It was also something interesting for me to learn, and other people. I'm
he's
sure
actually
other people.
said he said his internet is struggling. He wanted to maybe comment a bit more than he did today.
Oh, I saw him say something like that.
He had some comments like stumbled upon an NFT of the beasts on open seas.
OpenSea is the
Going-
Ethereum NFT market, eh?
Oh yeah, going for 4 ether.
But this is the Netflix thing, eh? We should talk
Yeah.
about Netflix,
Maybe-
Showmax, and the local streaming sites. We talk about them.
Yeah,
That can be a good topic. Because me, by there, I have a couple of things to mention about Showmax, and and is there another one? Base, but Base you have to be on mobile. I'm telling you, Safaricom, man. And Netflix. Anyway, but yeah, we've come to the end of the show. I don't know, Pitches left immediately, maybe due to calls
Penino.
or something.
Penina.
But yeah, here she came in the middle.
Calls.
Slati was here in the beginning. But yeah, if you enjoyed this show, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do the usual things that other YouTubers tell you to do. And yeah, remember this show is converted to a podcast in the morning. Kesho, you should be able to listen to it on your podcast platform of choice. So that is Apple Music, Spotify, whatever, man. And make sure you follow us there and like us there. Reports. At this point, I think I've pretty much covered every podcast platform there is. So if you feel like there's one you listen to and I'm not, and we are not there, we'll just add. We're even on freaking Mixcloud, man. It's the DJ site or whatever. I looked into it the other day and I realized it had stopped uploading, but then I think they fixed it. I did not even ask them, but I found that the RSS link was fixed. It's now working.
So can we add like DJ stuff to the podcast before we upload
DJ
it over
stuff.
there?
Aye?
Yeah, like have the
No.
freno, po, 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 the ambulance sound, chiki chiki chiki.
See, already there's an intro up. On the
No,
show.
but we have to do like a different one for them.
Oh, and yeah,
So
but
that
the
someone
guys,
starts-
guys need to actually even join the Discord kwanza. Oh, and yeah, the Discord
come
is
on,
usually
come on.
the Discord is usually quiet though, so don't enter here expecting people chat that much. People are usually the people. I will assume most of the people who joined this Discord were because they came in as co-hosts. They come to support the show. So people are not as chatty. If you're looking for a Discord for gamers, if you join my Discord, you'll find links to other Discords. So Plus, also, it's a way for you to be notified when we upload podcasts and when we go live. Mostly on all of these things, we talk about the references, like the references we had today, those links or videos we've been talking about. We post everything there for you people to chambua. And also, yeah, there's just many sections. There's clickbait, there's whatever. So some of this stuff we talk about, like the downfall of Netflix, blah blah blah. Most of them is probably posted on the clickbait section. But yeah, do you guys have anything to end with? I think to be honest, I did not know what this Web3 thing was, but yeah, I've learned a couple of things here and there today.
Keep learning, bros. That's what I have to say. Keep learning. Bros and sisters, keep learning.
Eshi, do you have anything to end with?
No. Considering I came in halfway. No, don't have much to add.
Don't want to tell people to buy more NFTs. Buy an NFT of my voice.
Invest. NFTs and crypto is the future. Okay, I'm joking.
Say you're selling your voice as an NFT.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell words. They can send you specific quotes for you to say, and you.
By the way, we should monetize his voice. So anyone in watching the show, if you want your special someone told happy birthday by Heishi, you know, can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, give me money.
Give him money, then he'll say whatever you want him to say.
Oh yeah, and the show has a donation link. By the way, I don't think I've ever mentioned that. But if you click on the link tree, there's a support thing. If you click on it, it's just going to take you to a PayPal, where you just click the amount you want to donate, and so yeah. And Kaiser is saying there's a book I read, Financial Service Revolution: How Blockchain is Transforming Money Market. Iko hapo kwa Discord. If you guys are interested in that, go read. There's a book section on this Discord below us on the community charter page. There's a million books that Kaiser keeps posting, man. Yeah, it's probably there. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say other than I should see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Peace out.